Art of the Mind's Destiny and or Fate, the sixth of seven lessons in relation to foreboding or portending signs, signals, and symbols. Upon the material plane, there are indeed definite signs, signals, and symbols which can be explained, understood, and clarified in meaning by many ways and means according to individual interpretation. They act as, point out, and suggest growth, level of understanding, and degree of development reached by the embodied soul. A journey through innumerable spheres of infinite influence, experiences, and expressions we're one and all on. Together, no less. You know, the collective consciousness. And they're meant to guide one's present life experiences and expression along a certain path, chosen or not. Again, it's wholly up to the outcome of individual will, ideally being for the sake of one another. It's a fundamental imperative. We're taught how to speak, read, and write in order to function properly in any given situation, society, community, or tribe. That's a fact of life. It's important to know, if not vital to understand this information, like being able to recognize mundane stuff, such as street signs, seasonal and cyclical signals, and symbolism sprinkled in here and there to accentuate that. In the broadest sense of the meaning of it all, it's about pattern recognition. That's it. See? One may also find signs by studying astrology, geomancy, numerology, chronology, palmistry, cards, books, and leaves. Yea, even in the fluttering of a butterfly or flutter in your room, or in just the right answer from a perfect stranger. Hence, the often said sentiment. However, as whomever they art say, buyer be wary. One should nevertheless exercise great caution in allowing any such presumption from outside of oneself to dictate or become the ruling influence in one's interpretation, as this applies to destiny and or fate, aka outcome. For they are all subject to one's will and only indicate one's present development and potential possibilities. Get it? Even when it comes to studying dreams, which by the very merry way is the best source of internal discourse. Like keep a journal and note the repeating patterns, as in the signs, signals, and symbols. They're extremely personal and therefore specifically designed with you in mind. Even the vibrations from crystals, metals, streams, and stones should be taken with a grain of salt. Consider them as flash bulbs of insight and prompting. What happens next is solely up to you and you alone. The point is to be discerning, not impulsively swayed by whichever way the wind bellows and blows. Get real and keep it fucking real. Red flags and green lights are as signs and signals which alert us so that we may not falter or stumble in chaos and darkness. Follow not the light like a moth drawn to a candle. Rather, see the bigger picture of what its illumination may guide one in service of same. The vibrations of material things are merely helpful in retuning oneself into creative forces at large. See, each and every country, state, town, and house creates and emanates its own vibrations by or through the activities of those whom so dwell therein. Yes, and much confusion arises as Many may try to interpret signs, signals, and symbols in accordance with the changing vibrations brought about purely by will. Just look around you. What do you see? That's all the evidence one needs. In seeking the light, do not confuse the making or the meaning, aka the flame with that which is sought, nor mistake inner emotions and impulses of thy body that take hold of spiritual forces and ideals with that which hath prompted them. For all power, all force, and all action comes from within, which is, of course, ever subject to free will. So seek that you may find in mind, body, soul, and purpose, such that one may become the better way, as in always give the increase, no matter what. The frequency, pitch, or rhythm of the song is neither the meaning or the message therein. It is but an aid of assistance for those who would find encouragement and inner strength. Use them only to hone in on tuning oneself in. But how, one may aptly ask? Well, that's as easy as 1, 2, 3. As one applies what one knows, the next step shall be given. Wash and repeat. This does not give us the answer or message per se. Nay, it only attunes us to that higher consciousness which may give meaning. Application is the act of putting something to good use for a purpose with intention. That's what makes for growth and development in relation to one's conditions or experiences. Not hope, wishful thinking, or abject silence and an I don't care attitude. One's birth on a certain date or the alignment of tea leaves and planets does not destine this or that fate. The outcome is only that which comes from urges as they arise. It's only what one does in actions and deeds that makes or breaks situational change. After all, and always remember, signs only give directions, signals merely give advice, and symbols, well, they provide more information still. And reading into them any more than that, in a literal sense, is missing the point entirely. For the universe simply constructs these and those things as we go along living life in the moment. They're certainly not commands or demands. It's guidance and friendly reminders. That's all. Not confirmation that something else is going on. That's just in your head and imagination. Again, get real. Do dreams of physical conditions come to pass? Yes, sometimes. That just means you're on the right track. Are such conditions set in stone at the time they're dreamed? No. Why would we dream of any given situation when these may be answered for one as long as we recall and reflect upon the immutable law of cause and effect through the choices we make in our experiences throughout life? See, the only thing that ever changes is change itself, which is always for the better. Hence, as thoughts, purposes, aims, and desires are set in motion, so too their effects become as conditions in what is to happen, good or bad. The universe knows but one word and just one way to answer them. With the unfailing affirmation of always saying yes, as in, okay, if that's what you want, here you go. So always remain vigilant and wise. Think positively to keep from being derailed or sidetracked. For it is with dreams we attune our minds to those storehouses of experience which have been set in motion. At times there may be made an ideal connection, while at other times there may be interruption or static. by way of one's ability or inability to coordinate our own thoughts with the experiences of facts set in motion. It's all relative and relational. And the result of a perfect attunement is evidence in our lives as this and that pertains to the synchronicities in one's life. Sometimes one sees visions. Sometimes one interprets the unseen. And sometimes one does exactly the right thing at the nick of time. Go figure. Some are dreamers of dreams, while others may prophesize. Some become healers, while others still become teachers of saying. And yet, all comes from, as it is indeed, of the same spirit. Now, this may sound like it has little reference to destiny or fate, but rest assured, and rest assuredly so, it has much to do with mind, body, and soul in terms of outcomes, nevertheless. And who are you? Who? We really want to know who are you? Who